Power 365 Radio, your number one online Southwest radio. Tune in for the rhythms that make you feel alive. And get ready to power up your day every day on Power 365 Radio, broadcasting from the city of Ibadan. Follow us for top-notch news and entertainment updates. Don't miss a thing. So, pick up your phone and follow us on Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your number one online Southwest radio.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Sport Brief on Power 365 FM. Wherever you may be listening to us, this is your number one online radio. Yes, you might want to say, and I confirm to you that you can say that again and again. This is Power 365 FM, the number one online radio in the city of Ibadan. And I stand to tell you, in Southwest region, Nigeria, we are the best. Alright then, you know, once you're hearing this particular voice, you know the program that is live presently. That is Sport Brief on Power 365 FM. Alright, and you can't afford to miss anything that I have for you this beautiful and lovely morning. Just sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the word of sport together this morning. Let's preach the gospel of sport this lovely and beautiful morning. Alright then, the time is 4 minutes away from 9 a.m. in the studio of Power 365 FM. Wherever you may be listening to us right here, right now, you can join the conversation on Facebook and also live on YouTube, because right here, right now, we are live presently. Alright, then let's quickly start what we do now. Let's get to business this morning. You know my name remains the same. I am Ibidakbo Miracle Oluwa Damilola. Of course, you can call me Miracle Sport. You know, I do normally start with the local stories that I have on my table this morning. Don't forget, a lot of happenings is actually going on presently. That's talking about what? That's talking about the ongoing African Games as far as Nigeria is concerned. We know we have related news stories to celebrate for all our teams Nigeria that have been able to represent this beautiful and great nation. And don't forget also, talking about the host nation, a lot of stories on them also. That's talking about Ghana. They are the one that's actually hosting the African game as it is and as it stands right here, right now. Moving away from that particular one, let me quickly run through all the local stories that I have for you this beautiful and lovely morning. Talking about Cesar Oshoala, not good enough as far as his assist is concerned, because it was not actually so relevant when they are facing BFC defeat in that particular order. Moving away from that, let's talk about Olympic qualifier also. Bayana coach actually plot Falcon for. Do you think she'll be able to do that? Don't forget. And also we have a lot of stories regarding Bassi out of friendly Mali match. Of course, that particular game that will be happening between the Super Eagles player of Nigeria and also Mali in that particular order. Moving away from that, also let's talk about why Obani is struggling at Leon. And don't forget, talking about African Games also, like I said earlier on, it now promises swift preparation for Egypt 2027. And also talking about Nawari to sign first Arsenal deal next week. Congratulations to all Arsenal fans out there, as this particular youngster will be added to their squad in that particular order. Moving away from that, Babajide releases Tenerife religious Tenerife resurgent win in the particular order. And also talking about Nigerian Professional Football League, Inform Rangers go top in the particular order. Moving away from that, also, where do I go to? Let's talk about Chelsea related news, gossip, stories that I have on my table as far as the headline is concerned. Of course, Chelsea keen on Osimhen. A lot of beautiful scenes this beautiful and lovely morning to celebrate as far as sport is concerned. And also don't forget, talking about Israel Adesanya unveils real estate business in New Zealand in the particular order. And also African Games, a lot of stories also panning around in that particular undo. Talking about Nigerian finish second as championship ends in the particular order. Also don't forget, talking about Warren, Joshua and Tyson Fury, that particular bout is set for 2025. These are the stories that I have for you this beautiful and lovely morning. The people of Ibadan, and of course Nigeria as a whole, as a nation, and also across the globe, wherever you might be listening to this beautiful and lovely voice. This is Miracle Sport in the studio of Power365 FM, your number one online radio. Alright then, let's quickly get to business this morning. Let's do what I know how to do best. Let's preach the gospel of sport this beautiful and lovely morning. You know me to be a local man. Of course, I'll be starting with all the local stories that I have on my table this lovely and beautiful morning. Alright, then let's talk about who? Let's talk about Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen, as far as Osimhen is concerned, he's ready to agree personal terms with Chelsea in that particular order. Don't forget, a lot of stories actually going around as far as Victor Osimhen is concerned. Don't forget also, a lot of teams are actually interested in bringing this particular guy to their squad. But I stand to tell you in the studio of Power365 FM that Chelsea is reportedly looking to sign Super Eagles. That's talking about Victor Osimhen from Serie A champion, talking about Napoli in the summer transfer window. Italian journalist that's talking about Rudy Galletti has revealed that the 25-year-old Nigerian will definitely join Chelsea and should be able to secure agreements over personal terms easily. The Blues are prepared to trigger its release clause and they are currently working out the particular payment in the particular order. Congratulations to all the Chelsea fans out there. But for me, what do you think? It's a question. Do you think Victor Osimhen will be able to sign this particular deal, knowing fully well that even personal terms is been said to be agreed in that particular order? If you know it will work, go straight up to the comment section there of Chelsea fans out there. Just make your own opinion known. Do you really want Victor Osimhen added to your squad? And do you think Victor Osimhen will definitely contribute a very huge quota to Chelsea development as far as what? As far as the English Premier League is concerned in that particular order. And also don't forget, Chelsea signed the former La Liga striker to solve their goal scoring problem, but he has been quite underwhelming this season and Chelsea needs to bring an upgrade in that particular squad. So Osimhen should prove to be a superb addition and he could transform them into genuine contender next sale in that particular order. And also don't forget, the player has a release clause in the region of 120 million euro to 130 million euro, and therefore is likely to cost a substantial amount of money in the particular order. Oh my god, my time is running on the show. The time is 9 minutes away from 9 a.m. in the studio of Power365 FM. Let's move away from that and go to other stories that I have on my table this morning. Alright, then let's talk about related stories as far as African game is concerned in the particular order. Talking about the American-born wrestler becomes latest Nigerian to book Olympic Games qualification. That's talking about the as the African and Oceania Olympic qualifier in Alexandria, Egypt conclude. It said Ashton Mutua has actually joined the list of Nigerians wrestler heading to Paris 2024 Olympic game in the particular order. And also don't forget, the American-born Plateau State wrestler actually produced a spirited display to overpower South African Justin Van Uyl in a 16-18 pinfall to secure the Olympic spot in that particular order. And also don't forget, talking about Ashton Mutua, who recently pledged his allegiance to Nigeria and over American, will be making his first ever Olympic appearance in Paris. And also Nigerian Harrison Onomuboa, 86 kg, missed out Good morning and welcome. This is Sport Brief Power 365 FM, Wherever you may be listening to us, my name is Ibidako Miracle Oluwadamilola. Of course, I know what you know how to do best is to listen to us as far as we are the number one online radio in the city of Ibadan and also across the globe in that particular order. Don't forget, this beautiful and lovely morning, I have a lot of stories for you this morning. Talking about what? Talking about local stories, international stories, and everything happening around the globe as far as sporting story is concerned is what Miracle Sports will be deploying to your ear in this lovely and beautiful morning. Just sit back, relax, and let's enjoy what we talk sports brief on Power 365 FM. Welcome to your best among the rest as far as online radio is concerned. Alright then, you know what I do once I am here in the studio of Power 365 FM. Let's quickly talk about the local stories on my table this morning before we run through to the international stories that I have on my table this morning as well. Alright then, talking about the African games that is actually ongoing presently at Accra, Ghana. This is what we have for you as far as that is concerned. Alright then, let me quickly run through all the headlines that I have on my table for you this lovely and beautiful morning. Talking about that prolific lady as far as feminine football is concerned. I'm talking about Cesar Oshoala. Not good enough in Bay FC defeat, even though she contributed a very outstanding assist in that particular game. But I stand to tell you in the studio of Power 365 FM that could actually help Bay FC defeat in that particular game. Moving away from that, Olympic qualifier, talking about Bayana coach actually plot Falcons for in that particular order. My question is, do you think Bayana coach will be able to put on the Super Falcons of Nigeria? Go straight up to your comment section and make your comment known in that particular order if you think the Super Falcons will be able to defeat the Bayana rather. Alright then, moving away from that, also related stories that I have for you also this morning, talking about Bassi out of Mali friendly. And don't forget, also talking about the likes of what? The likes of African-related game stories that I have for you this morning. In no promises swift preparation for Egypt 2027. And also talking about Nwaneri to sign first Arsenal deal next week. And don't forget, Babajide releases Tenerife resurgence win in that particular order. Sit back, relax. A lot of stories is here for you this morning on Sport Brief Power 365 FM, your number one online radio. Alright then, let's quickly get to business and let's do what I know how to do best. Oh yeah, let's preach the gospel of sport in the studio of Power 365 FM. This program on presently, it is Sport Brief on Power 365 FM. My time is running 14 minutes away from 9 a.m. just like 14 seconds. Alright then, let me start from the local stories, as you know me to be a local man. Alright then, talking about Lagos FA board impeaches Oki, names Gafar new chairman. I was talking about the board of members of the Lagos State Football Association and its General Assembly on Saturday impeached their chairman, talking about Fuad Oki, and voted Gafar Liamed as the new chairman of the state FA. According to the report I have on my table this morning, in a counter move, however, Oki actually told Sunday, he said he reminded the chairman of the embattled association in the particular order. And also don't forget, talking about what? Talking about the board issue a vote of no confidence on Oki after he was actually voted out by 12 of 14 members of that particular Congress following the allegation against him, including maladministration, high-handedness, corruption, fraudulent practice in that particular order. I move away from that news stories. Where do I go to? Alright, then let's go to Ghana. Let's travel to Ghana this morning. Talking about Ghana, of course, this is coming from Ado. He said we are unlucky against Nigeria following a side 2-1 defeat to Nigeria during the international friendlies game on what? That's on Friday. Of course, their coach has actually been able to voice out that we are unlucky, even though my team is actually a formidable team and we did all we need to do. He said, but the God of lucky, that's God of lucky, I don't know, but that's coming from who? That's coming from Ado, was actually against them in that particular encounter when the Super Eagles of Nigeria, when they are facing the Black Stars of Ghana in that particular game. When Super Eagles of Nigeria, they are able to what? They are able to defeat the Black Stars of Ghana by 2-1 in that particular encounter. Georgiado says his side is what? Is unlucky in that particular encounter. Let's move away from that. The time is 15 minutes away from 9 a.m. Nigerian time. Alright then, let's go to other related stories that I have on my table as far as African Games is concerned. Alright, let's talk about American-born wrestler become latest Nigerian to book Olympic Games qualification. That's the African Oceania Olympic qualifiers in Alexandria, thus Egypt. Conclude Ashon Mutua has actually joined the list of Nigerian wrestler heading to Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And don't forget, the American-born Plateau State wrestler produced a spirited display of power. South African Justin Van Zyl in a 16-8 pinfall to secure the Olympic slot in that particular game. And also don't forget, talking about Ashon Mutua, who recently pledged his allegiance to Nigerian over American, who he will be having and making his first ever Olympic appearance in Paris in that particular order. Congratulations to this particular guy, as he is doing Nigerian proud at the continental level. Alright, and let's move away from that. Where else do I go to this beautiful and lovely morning? I have something very special for you this morning. Once we get to that particular segment, I will make you understand what I have for you. Alright, and let's still talk about local stories that I have on my table. Alright, then, talking about Oburu Dudu, 3 others wrestler, they have been able to book Olympic tickets in Egypt in the particular order. And don't forget, 4 Nigerians wrestler has been able to join Odunayo Adekuroye to qualify for the Paris Olympic, by winning gold medals at the African Oceania Olympic qualifiers in Alexandria, Egypt. According to the United World Wrestling, the finalists in each weight category are expected to qualify for the Olympic Games, meaning this 4 wrestlers finished among the top 2 boxers in their categories. And also, Odunayo Adekuroye has been able to secure qualification to Paris last year following a bronze medal win in the women 57 kg at the World Olympic in Paris in the particular order. And don't forget, also talking about Tokyo 2022 Olympic silver medalist Blessing Oburu Dudu booked a place at the 2024 Paris Olympic after a 2-1 victory pinfall over Ulua Tankong of Palu in the 68 kg women's category in that particular order. And don't forget, talking about the world military champion Anna Reuben, 76 pip Ame Yon of Ivory Coast, 6-0 to secure an Olympic slot, adding to African Games gold medal won in Accra, Ghana in that particular order. Let's leave that and let's go to other stories that I have on my table for you. Quickly, this is still Sport Brief on Power 365 FM, your number 1 online radio. The time is 18 minutes away from 9 a.m. Nigerian time. Alright then, what do we do now? Let's quickly go on a short break. So while we are back from this short break, I stand to tell you that Sport Brief on Power 365 FM continues. Don't touch that. And don't forget, you can also connect with us on our social media handle. We are live presently on Facebook, and also we are live on YouTube, and also on TikTok and on Instagram. We are live presently. Let's quickly do that and let's preach the gospel of sport. Stay tuned. I will be right back.
Tune in for This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your number 1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight.
Welcome from that short commercial break. This is the Sport Brief in the studio of Power 365 FM, your lovely radio show. And this is your number 1 online radio in the city of Ibadan and across the globe because we are confirming that to you in that particular order. We are the top notch. All right, then let's go on back to business. This time is 21 minutes away from 9 a.m. Nigerian time. All right, then what do we do now? Let's go to other related local stories that I have on my table before I run to the international scene. Talking about Onlineradiobox to sign first Arsenal next deal. That's next week. Congratulations to all the Arsenal fans out there. Talking about Arsenal's Ethan Nwaneri, the Premier League youngster ever player, is actually reportedly set to actually sign his first professional contract with the Gunners. That's next week. And don't forget, talking about the Englishman, was just 15-year-old and 181 days old when he came off the bench. That's against Brentford in September 2022, becoming the youngest man to feature in the Premier League in that particular process. And don't forget, talking about Nwaneri, broke the previous record set by the Liverpool and the Elliot at the Gete Community Stadium in Arsenal 3-win victory, where Mikel Arteta explained that he had a gut feeling about that particular teenager. And don't forget, talking about Nwaneri, did not actually make another first team appearance last season, but continued to make waves at the youth level, and he actually played the second match for the senior in February 6. New victory, romping over West Ham United in that particular order. Let's move away from that. My time is running on the show. All right, let's talk about other related stories that I have for you as far as local stories is concerned. Talking about African Games, and now actually promises swift preparation for Egypt 2027. Talking about the Minister of Sport Development, Senator John Eno, has actually declared that the preparation for the 2027 African Games, which will be held in Egypt, will begin immediately as the continent to the just concluded 13th edition of the games in Ghana arrived on Sunday. Don't forget, talking about Team Nigeria arriving in the country's capital Abuja and Lagos in batches on Sunday via chartered flight provided by the Ministry of Sport and Development. And don't forget, in Ghana, Team Nigeria had an impressive outing and finished second in the overall medal table with a total number of 121 medals, comprising 47 gold, 34 silver and 14 bronze medal. Oh my God! Congratulations to all the Nigerian team for making us proud, for doing us proud. Up Nigeria in that particular order. And also don't forget, although the foreign-based athletes who were actually part of Nigerian success at the game have also returned directly to their bases. I'm talking about it now. Believes the head start ahead of the 2027 games will actually give the country an edge in the world in their quest to claim top spot for the first time since hosting the game in 2003. And also, on behalf of His Excellency, talking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, I welcome you back to our dear country. I congratulate you for your outstanding performance in the just concluded 13 African Games that held in Ghana. The minister said in a statement obtained by the correspondent that's on Sunday. All right, then, let's move away from that. My time is running on the show. Where else do I go to? Alright, let me just go to the international stories that I have for you this morning. Talking about basketball. I have basketball related stories here for you. Talking about Brown helped leaders Boston to 8th straight win in that particular order. That's talking about Eastern Conference leaders, the Boston Celtics, extend their winning streak to 8 games as Jalen Brown actually scores 33 points at the Detroit Pistons in that particular encounter. And don't forget, talking about Bucks actually win as Antetokounmpo returns from injury. And also talking about really special Fulton ready for March Madness in that particular order as far as basketball related stories that I have for you this morning is concerned. Alright, let's move away from that. My time is running on the show. The time is 25 minutes away from 9 a.m. Nigerian time. 25 minutes just run off just like 25 seconds. Alright, let's talk about table tennis also. Talking about Murray suffered dramatic defeat by Mark Inouye in Miami in that particular order. Talking about Andy Murray is actually knocked out of the Miami Open as he suffers a dramatic 5-7, 7-5, 7-6, 7-5 defeat by Thomas Mahawk in the last 32 in that particular one. Moving away from that, and also talking about Goff sees off Dodin to reach Miami Open last 16. And also don't forget, talking about Bolter through to 4th round of Miami Open as far as table tennis is concerned in that particular order. And also Sabalenka win in Miami after emotional week. Don't forget that's following his boyfriend's death in that particular order. And also talking about Wimbledon Wisher event to double in size in that particular order. Let's move away from that because my time is running on the show. Alright, where do I go to? Let's talk about other local stories that I have for you this morning. Azizat Oshoala assists not enough in BFC defeat in that particular order. Azizat Oshoala Agbabola, as some people normally say, Oshoala produced a sparkling individual display for Bay FC, but the new National Women's Soccer League side slumped to a 2-1 defeat against Washington Spirit in their second league game on Sunday. And also don't forget, the Super Falcons forward and a club had actually hoped to build on their historic display in their NWXL debut with another win, but they actually conceded a late goal as the home side snatched the win in the particular order. That means in the 11th minute of the particular game, Oshoala actually showed a playmaking prowess by delivering a sublime through ball to set up teammate Duran Bailey for a close range finish and give Bay a 1-0 lead in that particular game. And also that, however, lasted only 12 minutes as the home team responded through Creole's Bichon, who actually struck late in stoppage time to win the game 2-1 for Washington Spirit in that particular order. I move away from that. Where else do I go to? Because my time is just running on the show. Don't forget, a lot of international games actually went down yesterday and later on today. We have a lot of drama where we'll be seeing the contender when they'll be weighing up against the pretender. You want to know? Of course, I will tell you. I am still in the studio of Power365 FM. Alright, let's go to games that went down yesterday. Before I move on to the games that will be happening later on today, talking about Ethiopia in the international friendlies. They defeated Lesotho yesterday by 2-1, and also San Marino and St. Kitts were unable to separate themselves yesterday because the game actually ended 0-0 in that particular order. And also don't forget, talking about the likes of Italy defeated Ecuador yesterday. Ecuador suffered defeat 2-0 from Italy in that particular order. And also Bhutan and Venezuela, the game ended 0-0 in the particular order also. Talking about the U.S. Major League Soccer, a lot of games actually happened yesterday. I'll not be able to go through all because of my time. But it's time to tell you that Philadelphia defeated Portland yesterday by 3-1. And also, talking about New York, they suffered defeat yesterday by FC Saint by just 1-0. And Charlotte FC defeated Columbus Crew 2-0 in that particular order also. Let's move away from that and go to where? And go to the games that will be happening later on today. Talking about the international friendlies game, it continues today. We'll be seeing Central. They'll be winning on Papua New Guinea in that particular order. And also Tanzania will be winning up against Mongolia. You are wondering what time that game will be happening. The game between Tanzania and Mongolia will be happening at exactly 2 p.m. Nigerian time. And the game between Central and Papua New Guinea will be happening at exactly 30 minutes away from 10 a.m. Nigerian time. And also don't forget, at exactly 15 minutes away from 4 p.m. Nigerian time, Sri Lanka will be weighing up against Bhutan in that particular game. And also 5 p.m. Nigerian time, Azerbaijan will be taking on Bulgaria in that particular encounter also. 6 p.m. Nigerian time, Cyprus will be weighing up against Serbia. And also Russia will take on Paraguay in that particular order at exactly 6 p.m. also. And also talking about 7 p.m. Nigerian time, it will be Sweden weighing up against Albania. And also 8 p.m. Nigerian time, Cape Verde will take on Equatorial Guinea. And also 9 p.m. Nigerian time, it will be Bolivia weighing up against Andorra at exactly 30 minutes away from 9 p.m. Nigerian time. It will be Comoros weighing up against Angola in that particular order. Earlier was this morning in the Colombian Premier. Some games actually went down, but my time will not permit me to do that because my time is up on the show this morning and I need to leave the studio right here, right now. But before I leave the studio, congratulations to Arsenal's women team because yesterday they were able to defeat Aston Villa in the Women's Super League by 3-0. Pelova was actually on the score sheet. Ruben Moy was actually on the score sheet also, and likes of Blastuinos is actually on the score sheet. And also Salmon got a consolation goal for Aston Villa in the particular encounter. Moving away from that one, where else do I go to? Alright then, talking about the gossip stories that I have for you this beautiful and lovely morning, because some people are actually wondering what's happening in the world of market transfer. You want to know, of course, I will definitely make you understand everything that I have for you as far as what? As far as a transfer market story is concerned. Alright, let's talk about transfer. Manchester City are monitoring Everton centre back. That's talking about Gerard Brockway with what? With Manchester United, Tottenham, Real Madrid also interested in the 21-year-old in the particular order as far as the Englishman is concerned. And don't forget, Manchester United has been linked with the selling Scotland midfielder Scott McTominay, but actually what? But the club plan to keep the 27-year-old and give him an improved contract. And also, don't forget, Manchester United, they are targeting Benfica and Portugal midfielder, that's talking about Joao Neves, 19-year-old, as one of their summer priorities for 28 priorities. But the club could actually consider a move for the 28-year-old France international Andre Rabiot in the particular order. And also don't forget, this particular guy who plays for Juventus as a more affordable option in the particular order. United are also tracking Barcelona and Senegal defender, that's talking about Mikhail Faye, 19-year-old, but faced competition from Bayer Leverkusen and and Inter Milan. West Ham United are also planning a move for the 28-year-old Brentford and English striker, that's talking about Ivan Toney, who has been linked with Arsenal and Chelsea in the particular order. Oh my God, my time is almost up. I need to leave the studio. Talking about Liverpool, Manchester City, and Chelsea have all been given a boost in their pursuit of Newcastle United midfielder, that's talking about Bruno Guimaraes, 26-year-old, with the Brazilian playmaker admitting he has other goals. Bayern Munich also wants a decision from Canada left back, that's talking about Fonso Davies, next week, whether the 23-year-old who has been linked with Real Madrid will agree a new contract at the Bundesliga champion. And also don't forget, Tottenham are preparing an early summer bid of between 30 million euro to 40 million euro for 24-year-old. And also talking about the English midfielder Conor Gallagher, whose contract at Chelsea runs out in the year 2025. Also, Genau forward, talking about Albert Gudmundsson, is on the radar of Tottenham Hotspur, while Inter Milan are also interested in the 26-year-old Iceland international in the particular order. And don't forget, Julian Nagelsmann, 36-year-old, said it is not impossible that he extend his contract as Germany manager beyond the end of the summer Euro 2024 tournament, which talks about a new deal having taken place in that particular order. Benfica also, I have a transfer gossip story for you, talking about Ruud Pedro Bras is actually high on a list of potential successors to take over from Dan Ashworth as Newcastle United sporting director in that particular order. And also Manchester United could actually try to sign 19-year-old Senegal defender, that's talking about Mikhail Faye from Barcelona in the summer. Oh, my time is up. I need to leave the studio. But before I leave the studio, I have something very special for you. A lot of people have been questioning me that they want to know who is the richest football club owner in the world 2024 as far as this year is concerned. Top 10 richest football club owners from Manchester City to MLS in that particular order. I stand to tell you that I will start with the club owner that sat at number four. Let me quickly run through 4 because my time is up on the show. I need to leave this video part 35 FM. Talking about number 4, Philip Ashworth of LA Galaxy, another owner in the MLS. Talking about Ashworth has a reported net worth of $13 billion. That's huge amount of money for this particular man. And also don't forget, talking about David Tepper of Charlotte FC. He is the club owner of Charlotte FC, the owner of MLS outfit Charlotte FC. Tepper has reported net worth of $18 billion. Beg your pardon. That's $18 billion. That's huge amount of money. And also, sat on the number 2 is Sir Jim Ratcliffe of Manchester United. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has a 25% stake in the Old Trafford club and a reported net worth of $26.6 billion. Oh my God, my tongues are slipping because this money is just huge amount of money. Okay, you are wondering, that particular man that sat at number 1 amid the richest club owner in the world of football. I stand to tell you in the studio of Power365 FM that Sheikh Mansour of Manchester City, he is the richest man as far as club owner is concerned in the world has an individual reported net worth of $30 billion. Hey, this is so huge as far as that is concerned. I need to leave the studio now because my time is on. And I'm even using extra time here, right here, right now. My name remains the same. I am Ibidakwa Miracle Oluwadamilola. Of course, you can call me Miracle Sport. We have to catch up tomorrow, 9 a.m. Nigerian time. You can afford to miss all the top stories that we having for you tomorrow. I have something very special for you tomorrow. Just make sure you stay tuned and stay tuned to Power 365 FM. Up next is newspaper review in the particular order. Right here, I am signing out of the studio of Power 365 FM. Like I do say, do have a lovely and beautiful and productive Monday ahead of you. I am Ibidakwa Miracle Oluwadamilola. You can call me Miracle Sport. For now, I am out of the studio of Power 365 FM.